Testing. Hello guys, I am Michael Powers and welcome back to another video on my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, we talk about business, marketing, social media, and all things trending online. Today, we're gonna be going over the social media tier list 2020 edition. If this is your first time on the Michael Powers channel, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button and then subscribe. Also subscribe, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into the video. So today, of course, you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. We're looking at the social media tier list 2020 edition. This social media tier list will help you gauge what platform you should start on if you want to make content in 2020 or going into 2021. Now, the reason why it's the 2020 edition, because this will change over time and I plan on doing kind of a yearly social media tier list. Let's just hop right into it. You know the drill. We got 14 of the hottest social medias out there today, and let's get into the business. So the first one we have is Instagram. Overall, I think Instagram is a great platform. There are a ton of users on Instagram, and honestly, you can get some pretty good organic engagement. I've been using Instagram for a long time now. Instagram is a great way to get organic engagement, specifically with photos. You can start up an Instagram page, post your photos, and put some hashtags on it, and get some organic engagement right off the bat. Instagram page is kind of geared towards people who want to solidify their personal brand, in the sense that I don't think Instagram is great for discoverability anymore as it was back in like 2016, but honestly, you can still get a little bit of good organic engagement off Instagram. Although recently, I've been seeing a lot more reposted content, which I think Instagram is great for that. If you've ever used Instagram, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's pretty saturated. There's a lot of photos that just get reposted on other accounts, trying to gain little followings here and there. Instagram is a great way to supplement your brand and kind of diversify it if you are coming from another social media platform. Instagram isn't where you'll start building your audience, but it's definitely a platform to check out and start posting on if you want to solidify your presence in the online world. So I'm gonna put Instagram on the B tier list. That sounds about right. I think it definitely deserves a B tier. It's not quite C tier because I don't think that it's all that bad in terms of some of the engagement you can get, but it just really isn't like an A tier or S tier, which is why I'm giving it a B tier. The next one we have is good old-fashioned Tumblr. Tumblr's been around for a while, and honestly, I haven't used Tumblr in a long time. I know I don't want to call it a dead social media, but it's coming close to that. There are not as many Tumblr users as there was back in like 2016, 2015 days. I do see Tumblr every once in a while, people linking to their Tumblr, but it really isn't popular nowadays, and I don't see a lot of people getting all that much organic traffic off of Tumblr. Should you start on Tumblr? That's a definite no. There is not a reason to be on Tumblr. There really isn't a good audience there to grow organically. If there is, you can let me know in the comments. From my experience, I haven't really found a good way to get a good organic audience on Tumblr. So we're gonna throw it in the E tier category. I don't think it's F tier because I definitely think it's another way you can engage with your audience. I don't really think you should have a vested interest in Tumblr unless you really want some of the extra features that come with Tumblr. Next up we have, MySpace. If you know about the start of MySpace, you are a real OG. Basically, if you don't know what MySpace is, it used to be what Facebook is today, and now MySpace, I think, is like some weird social media music hybrid. It's still got a little audience base, but I don't think it's crazy enough or lucrative enough for you to be putting out content on MySpace. It's kind of a dead social media. If you're on MySpace still, then I pray for you, but in my opinion, I really don't think you need to be spending all that much time on MySpace. We're gonna stick that in the good old F tier category because MySpace, really not a focus. I don't know anybody who uses MySpace anymore. Definitely F tier. Don't touch it. There's no reason to touch it. Moving on. Next one, we got Twitter. Twitter, I think, is very similar to Instagram in that it's another way that you can also engage with your audience. Twitter is very informal in the way it's laid out. It's kind of just thoughts and conversations. Personally, I don't use Twitter all that much, but I have heard some stories of people getting some great engagement through Twitter. Now, should you start your social media brand or start social media through Twitter? I do not think so. I think Twitter is great if you have a brand somewhere else. There are ways that you can kind of hijack the Twitter algorithms and get in those trending pages and those top ranking stories on Twitter. I would say build up a social media following on some of the other social media platforms and then drive your audience to Twitter instead, because Twitter can be a great way to quickly interact with your audience, get updates, get feedback, get comments, get questions, and then you can use those ideas that you get from Twitter to make other content on different social media platforms. I would say you need at least like 5,000 to 10,000 followers if you really want to have some good engagement on Twitter. So I'm gonna put it right next to Instagram and put it at the B tier category. So next we have Triller. fucking Triller. If you do not know what Triller is, Triller was kind of going to be TikTok's replacement once TikTok, quote unquote, died back in August. TikTok is run by a Chinese company, and there were some scuffles in the United States. TikTok got banned in India, got like banned in Pakistan, and a lot of people moved over to Triller because it has a lot of the same features that TikTok had. With that being said, TikTok did not get banned in the United States, so there wasn't really an incentive for people to switch over from TikTok to Triller, but I had to include Triller on this list because it is the rivalry to TikTok. Do I think you should start on Triller? Maybe. I don't really know. It's basically Android TikTok. I mean, would I start on Triller? Not really. If you have a TikTok or you do post on TikTok, you could just re-upload your stuff onto Triller. It's basically the same platform. They have similar algorithms in the way they work. I've posted on Triller a few times. I've gotten a little bit of organic engagement, but honestly, I really do not see the benefit of Triller. We're gonna get to it, but I think TikTok is a much better platform to start on. If you're looking for the short video viral content strategy, I do not think Triller is a great platform to start on. If anything, you might just want to avoid it altogether. Like I said, Android TikTok. Triller is definitely gonna be in the D tier category. It isn't as bad as Tumblr because you can still get a little bit of engagement on Triller. It's just an awful app to use. They really got to update the app. It just feels like Android TikTok, and I hate it. I hate it. I'm only putting it at D tier is because you can get a little bit of engagement. There's better ways to grow an audience, and I do not think Triller is one of them. Next, we are moving on to good old Snapchat. Everybody loves Snapchat. Well, maybe. I don't know. Snapchat really is kind of indifferent for me. I've used Snapchat for sixth grade. It's been about 10 years now. I've been on Snapchat for a long time. Snapchat's really good if you want to keep up with all your friends, but I do not think it's that great if you want to build an audience or sustain an audience. Every once in a while, I'll go onto my discovery feed and I'll see some popular TikTokers or trendy creators that are in the discovery feed. Those are kind of other ways that you can kind of grow your brand, but for people who are just starting out or want to grow their brand, I do not think growing your brand through Snapchat is a great way to get started, or even maybe continue your brand. Yes, you can get some good organic impressions through Snapchat. I don't really see the need to put an emphasis on Snapchat unless you're already an established content creator who has an audience on other platforms and you want to bring it to something like Snapchat to get a more personal connection with your audience. So I think this one's definitely going to be in the C tier category. It really isn't that bad. Like I said, you can still connect with your audience. I used to run a Snapchat with some of my older brands. I used to snap people here and there from all over the world. It's actually kind of cool if you use it like that, but honestly, it's not really great for growing a brand or growing an audience. It's kind of more of a supplementary social media if you want to engage with your followers more than just on traditional video platforms. So that being said, Snapchat, definitely C tier. Moving on. Next up, we have Facebook. I don't know. Facebook is definitely one of the golden social medias. There's what, 2-some billion users on the platform. There are a ton of people on Facebook. Facebook really isn't as great as it used to be. Back in like the 2014, 2012 days, you used to get super crazy organic engagement on Facebook. Nowadays, that really isn't just the case. Posting on Facebook can be a great way if you post on other platforms and you want to kind of rehash your content onto Facebook. Should you make content solely for Facebook? I don't think so. Like I said before, I think Facebook is great if you have longer form videos you want to post and get a little bit more extra engagement. It doesn't take a lot of time to do. Every once in a while you get some organic impressions. I've posted a few videos on there actually from this channel, and they have done pretty well comparatively to YouTube in terms of organic engagement, but there really isn't a solid foundation for creating an audience through Facebook. It's kind of like a supplementary way to YouTube in a sense that Facebook is really driven off your family and friends rather than creating content for an audience. There definitely is room to create pages and audience on Facebook, but I don't think it's as lucrative as it once used to be, but you shouldn't rule it out if you want to expand your audience. I think Facebook is a great way if you want to post your videos on other social media platforms. So I'm going to put it in the B tier category next to Twitter and Instagram. It's not the greatest, it's not the best. I don't really care for Facebook. We're going to leave it at B tier, and yeah, moving on. Next, we have Pinterest. Pinterest is very interesting. Now, I've heard some good things and I've heard some bad things about Pinterest. I've used Pinterest for a little while and I've gotten a little bit of organic engagement on Pinterest, and there definitely is a little bit of a market if you're kind of into the whole photography, photos, and infographics area. You can get some good organic engagement if you pick the right tags and you kind of learn how the whole process works. But that being said though, should you start on Pinterest? This one's kind of a toss-up. For someone who just wants to start posting on social medias, Pinterest really really isn't that great of a platform to start on. I think there's other social medias that you can start on that will be much better than anything Pinterest will get you. Overall though, it's not the greatest social media platform, but it does have a lot of users who are looking for some organic engagement. So if there's an audience on Pinterest that you see is succeeding, maybe you kind of want to replicate some of their ideas and incorporate that into your own brand. But for the average person, I don't think Pinterest is a great avenue to focus on if you want to build your social media brand. So we're going to put it, I think, right next to Snapchat in the C tier category. Isn't great, isn't that bad, could be better. Moving on. Next, we're gonna go on to Reddit. Honestly, I think Reddit is pretty okay. Reddit is great for discussions, and I think it's also kind of falls into the category like Twitter. If you have a bigger audience for, say, on YouTube, and you have the ability to start your own Reddit thread that's actually getting some good engagement, then I think having discussions on Reddit is really great. Personally, I use Reddit to get lots of good ideas. It's primarily for discussions. I know you used to be able to get some pretty good engagement through Reddit just by upvoting posts. Nowadays, I don't see it as lucrative as it once used to be. Reddit is definitely not a dead social media platform. It really doesn't have that magical organic traffic like it once used to have. So I think I'm gonna put Reddit probably in the C tier category. Really, it's not quite B tier just because it takes a little bit to get started. You're gonna have to be experienced and have a lot of knowledge with Reddit if you want to get started building a Reddit profile. That requires lots of time and effort. Making meaningful, thoughtful posts. Really should not focus their attention on Reddit, but it definitely is something to keep in mind in the back burner if you want to grow your brand presence elsewhere. Next, social media. We have Twitch, everyone's favorite gaming social media platform. Twitch, at the time of this recording, Twitch is going through a pretty rough period. A lot of Twitch creators right now are going through what YouTube went through back in 2016 with the adpocalypse and DMCA strikes. People are getting copywritten for any music they played in their streams for as long as they've been streaming. So really, right now, Twitch isn't the best platform to be starting on. There is a ton of users on Twitch, some on 5 million streams every month, and the big issue with Twitch is that there's too many broadcasters and not enough viewers. Twitch back 4 years ago used to be a great way you could boot up a stream, you could get a few views, and you could honestly start to build a little bit of a community. Nowadays, that really isn't the case. It's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of effort if you wanna build organically on Twitch. I think my best advice if you want to build on Twitch is to think of ways that you can creatively interact with your audience or do something out of the ordinary on Twitch that no one else is doing. There definitely is a lot of different and cool ideas that you can have or do that could build your audience on Twitch. If you're just starting out, it really isn't a great platform to get started on. Don't think you're gonna boot up a stream and be the next ninja in 9 months, because that's not going to happen. Big issue with Twitch is that there really isn't a reason to watch a 5-viewer stream if there's already another 15, 20 streams that have 30,000 people watching, right? The community aspect isn't really there for people who are just starting out anymore. This is gonna be another social media platform where if you have an audience on a different platform, it might be a good idea to drive them to Twitch if you think there's an audience there for them. But honestly, starting on Twitch is not a good idea, and I really do not recommend it. And also with the recent DMCA problems, it's gonna be in a D tier next to Triller. It's not the greatest. It definitely can be done, but it's gonna take a lot of creative thinking and a lot of testing and trials, and honestly, a lot of time, because Twitch is a big time investment if you wanna make it work and you wanna grow a stable following on Twitch. Next one, we have YouTube. Everybody's favorite, YouTube. I think one of the best parts about YouTube is that there is someone out there waiting to watch your video no matter how crappy it is. If there's anything I've learned on YouTube is that there are so many different content creators that if you can think of an idea and you can create content and put it in the right light, it is certain to go viral. I genuinely believe that good content will trend on YouTube. And the best part about YouTube is always checking and looking for videos that they can push to their audience. So let's say you make a video on a topic that isn't trending today. Well, in 2 years, if that topic is trending, then YouTube might just pick up that video and start showing it to more and more people that otherwise wouldn't have saw that video unless you posted it 2 years ago. YouTube is really great at finding an audience for your video, but the key to YouTube is to be consistent. There are so many users on YouTube. It's only a matter of time if you post and you continually improve on your videos that you will eventually hit the right audience and you will grow your channel, kind of like what I'm doing with this channel. The one thing about YouTube that that really is key is to make sure you start with a strategy. Either keywords or trends, or you know some people. You need to have a strategy if you want to build a social media presence on YouTube. But because YouTube has so many users that are looking to watch any kinds of content, it really is one of the best social media platforms to post content and to start building an audience. YouTube is definitely going to be on the A tier of social medias. Definitely great. Definitely a social media that you should put out content on if you want to start building an audience. It's the most stable, it's the most reliable. Your videos will live on the platform for as long as YouTube is a thing, which is great because that means there's always someone who could potentially see your video. All right, cool. YouTube is definitely A tier. Next one, we got LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, I think, is kind of slept on nowadays. LinkedIn has so many users. The special part about LinkedIn is that LinkedIn is curated for business-minded people only. The thing about business people is, what do business people all have? That is money. They're always looking for content and ideas to make them more money. There's a lot of business-oriented people who are on LinkedIn who aren't typically on YouTube. That means there's a different audience that could potentially pay more for a view on LinkedIn. And on top of that, LinkedIn is in a special scenario right now where it's kind of similar to Facebook back in like 2015, 2014. There are so many people using LinkedIn, but there really isn't just that much content on LinkedIn. I recently talked to someone who posted 5 times on LinkedIn and got 2,000 impressions just from their 300 connections alone. If you could post 5 videos on LinkedIn and get 2,000 impressions from people who are definitely interested in business, those are some really strong impressions to have. And also, because there are so many people, there's gonna be people on LinkedIn who don't just wanna see business content. They're gonna wanna see content that has a business focus, but also has other areas of beauty or gaming. So that's why I think LinkedIn is a very recent breakout market that if you're looking to get into content creation, definitely check out LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn right now, like I said, is very slept on. And if you think you can kind of incorporate your content style into a little bit of a business flair, I think LinkedIn is perfect for that. And if you have a few hundred connections, you can easily get your posts to go viral and start building up a small audience. So then in 2, 3, 4 years time from now, you are one of the top creators on LinkedIn. That's actually something that I'm currently working on and something that I'm actually putting a bigger focus on. With all that said, LinkedIn is definitely going to be next to YouTube in the A tier category. Definitely, if you're not on LinkedIn, you should check it out. It's not only for business people. There's gonna be a lot more people joining LinkedIn that are gonna wanna view all kinds of content. Take a look at it. Moving on. Next, we have Vimeo. Now, Vimeo is kind of a weird one. If you know YouTube, you basically know Vimeo. Vimeo was created as competition to YouTube, but it really doesn't have the user base to get any kind of organic engagement on. There just isn't all that many users that are using Vimeo, and really, I don't think it's necessary if you wanna start posting your videos. If you do post on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn or Instagram, and you want to find another way to grow your brand a little bit more, I think you can repost those videos onto Vimeo and maybe get a little bit more engagement here and there. But really, you shouldn't put all that much attention into Vimeo. Vimeo, definitely not going to spend too much time on it. Definitely E tier, not the greatest. I don't think it's F tier because you still can get views on Vimeo, but they're just not great. No one's really looking for Vimeo. Not too many people know about Vimeo. E tier, moving on. And we have the last one. I hate to say it, but TikTok. And TikTok is definitely going to be S tier. Let me explain why. I started an account and within 2 months, I got almost 25,000 followers from literally posting garbage. You can post basically anything on TikTok and you can get views, all right? I don't care who you are or what kind of content you make. If you post content for long enough, you will get 1 or 2 videos to get 100, 200, 300,000 views. You can start building a small audience of from like 10K to 100K followers in a mere matter of weeks. Now, this is perfect if you want to grow a brand super fast, because what you can do is you can use the fantastic organic engagement on TikTok right now to then move your brand from TikTok to other platforms like YouTube, like LinkedIn, like Instagram, like Twitter, like Facebook, right? You can use what you build on TikTok to then transfer your audience to other social media platforms. And I think right now, if you're gonna start making content in 2020, in 2021, this is the strategy to go with. That is, you should make content on TikTok and you should branch out, send those people from TikTok to other social media platforms. TikTok is the easiest way to get crazy amounts of views with literally 0 to none work. I've done it. You can definitely do it. There are so many people who've done it. All it takes for you is to pull out your phone, record some dumb video of yourself, put it on TikTok, and maybe you'll get 1 million, 2 million, 3 million views. And in a matter of weeks, you'll have 10K, 20K, 30K, all the way up until you have 100K. And you can start migrating your audience to a platform like YouTube, where then you can start rapidly building your audience and skip the organic growth that's required to grow on YouTube. If you're not on TikTok, you're gonna wanna get on TikTok as soon as possible. Another thing I wanna mention with TikTok though, is it's not going to be like this for forever. Currently in 2020, when I'm recording this, we are kind of in a beginning phase of social media where TikTok is going to be the start of something bigger. TikTok is definitely in its golden era phase, where you can start posting on TikTok and you can get views almost immediately. This trend will not hold up for too long. I would say it's got about 3, 4, maybe 5 years until it really starts to get hard to grow organically on TikTok. The thing is, over time, the barrier to entry to start making content on TikTok is just gonna get higher and higher as the days goes on. I think just recently, Charlie hit 100 million followers on TikTok, and it's only gonna get more and more from there. If you wanna start making content in 2020, definitely focus your attention on TikTok for maybe a week or two, transition that audience onto some other social media platform, and consistently build your brand on other social media platforms launching from TikTok, which is why TikTok is definitely going to be the top of the list at S tier. Even though I hate the company so much, it is so easy to get views, it is so easy to get engagement, it is so easy to send people from your TikTok to your YouTube that it literally is almost unmatched. So, and I think there we have it. Looks about right. I think this is a very accurate estimate of the social media tier list. Really isn't anything I would change about this. Yeah, it looks about right to me. Yeah, like I mentioned before, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, definitely the places to focus on going into 2021 and in 2020. That's gonna be it for me today in this video. If you guys liked it and you wanna see more business, social media, or marketing type content, leave a comment below on what you wanna see or what you want me to talk about. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to smash the like button. Really does help me out. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.